Tech Heads back once again. This week, we chop it up with Rob Duharte, talking job search, interviews, education, and much more. We also touch on the stonks and how to repurpose an old iPad. This is Tech Heads.
4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So, here we go.
How you all feel tonight?
Let's get started. Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
Tech Heads back at it once again. How are you doing, Anna?
Hey, Victor. Hi, everyone. Doing pretty well. I think, this week, every week is now going by so fast. It's today when we're recording this is already March 6th. And I think it's been a reflective week for me because I've been looking back at this time last year and how things were so different. So, a year on to this pandemic. So it was something I was thinking about a lot this week. And I saw a couple of, people posting the same on Twitter and Reddit. So that's something that was like on my mind. I don't know. It just shows how, time goes by so fast and a lot of changes. So yeah, that's what I've been contemplating about during the week, in between work and school.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, my week was like extra fantastic. Super good week. I got my first.
Got some good news?
I got some good news. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. Because some things could potentially change.
Right.
So we'll see. But yeah, good news coming for sure. That's guaranteed. But I did get my first dose of the vaccine. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's awesome. Got that done. That was super easy. And then got a new iPhone. Can't complain about that. Actually, it's like, I don't know. I haven't been to Apple to buy a new phone in a long time. So and it's always been like this, I think, but it's almost laughable how easy it is once you get it all set up. So, I went online, I hit buy, and then it was like, all right, well, come pick it up. So then I just drive to the store and, they take my temperature and stuff. So they can see that I'm healthy, but somebody comes, checks my ID. We like reconvene at a table, and we're just like kind of hanging out, just talking. Mm-hmm. There's no phone, like there's no anything. We're just talking. And I was like, hey, so like I'm here to pick up my phone. He's like, oh yeah, the lady's coming right now. And then she comes, drops it on the table, and then he is like, okay, is this a good email for your receipt? I was like, yeah, that's good. And he's like, all right. And he slides it across the table. He goes, you're all set. And I just I started laughing in that moment for some reason. I don't know why. It's just so different of a vibe than any other shopping experience ever. If you go to Best Buy, you like have to go to this grocery store like conveyor belt where you put your on it, and it's just like
it's true.
And then you have some grumpy person being like, do you need a receipt? And like, all right, oh, your credit card didn't work. Can you push it in harder? Like, just always something. And like, oh, do you want to pay 10 cents for a bag? But oh my gosh, it's always a lovely experience with Apple. I loved it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So which phone did you get? 12. Oh, nice.
Upgraded from the 7 Plus to a 12. It's a totally different world. And, I always get my phones unlocked. So I got this one unlocked as well, and it was great. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's you can definitely see the upgrades, with that many years in between. I don't know, because my phone the battery is definitely bad because I have an 8 plus, so I've had this phone now for oh my gosh, I don't even know how long I've had the phone for, like probably 3 years. And I don't know, I'm kind of like saving up because I really want to get myself a new MacBook Pro. Like I'm just waiting for the M1, the Apple chip MacBook Pro 16-inch to come out this year. Because there is some buzz that it will. So I'm just, I'm more like, I'm trying to save for that rather than get a phone. But a phone is something that I use every day. So it will be, I think, probably a better investment, especially because once I'm done with school, I don't know if I'm going to be on my computer as much. I probably will because I just like, using it and doing things online.
Yeah, because you have your work computer, and then once you're done with work, you probably don't want to spend too much time on your computer.
I know. Yeah, it really is like going from one laptop to the other. That's the life right now. But
oh, yeah.
No, yeah, very cool. Let me know how you like the 12.
It's fantastic so far. Got that 5G coming in, and camera's insane. Yeah, I didn't get the Pro. I didn't get like the Plus. I didn't get anything special. I think it's literally just the 12 with 128 storage. I think is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I love it so far. I still have. Oh, this actually goes into something so extra and stupid that that I did.
I know it.
Yeah, so I was digging through some old boxes looking for, I think, like my health insurance card or something, because I can never keep track of it. So I was looking for it, so I could get my shot, which you don't need to have it, but it helps to have. So I was looking for that, and I ended up finding my old iPad. I was like, oh, an iPad. Okay. So I was like, what can I do with this? Like, I don't do anything with it. Nobody touches it. So I put it up as a permanent fixture on my, it's not a cork board, but it looks like a cork board. It's from IKEA. It, holds shelves and books and my other laptop, my soundboard, external hard drive, everything on the side of my desk. And I attached my iPad there permanently so that it's always there and charging. And its sole purpose is to display stocks on weekdays. And then on weekends, it goes to a vibey background loop that just kind of does whatever.
Oh, nice.
Dylan is not a fan.
Can you program it to do that? Like pick the weekdays, or
have to change it? I do that manually. I don't.
Man, that my mind was blown. I was like, how did you do that?
Oh,
Tell us.
no. That that's a funny idea. I should actually, when I get some time to do literally nothing, I'll actually look into doing that. That'd be kind of funny. I'm sure it can be done somehow.
Yeah. That's so cool. And well, you planted that seed, my friend, because I also had an iPad that I never used for anything. So its sole purpose is also to monitor stocks. I have it on because I got an account with, what's it called? Oh my gosh.
Coinbase?
Ameritrade.
Oh, okay.
Ameritrade, yeah. Well, I have Coinbase for, crypto, but I got one with Ameritrade, like for stocks, because of the whole GameStop and all that stuff. So
sure. Yeah,
I was actually, after you told me, I was like, oh my gosh, what a good idea. Because again, I have like a device that I never use and it costs a lot of money, so I can just like leave it over here, turn it on, keep the display on or never turn it off basically. Because it's funny because I remember like when I go into the office, I always have like this itch, to like look, use the phone app to keep an eye on the, the stocks that I bought, but I don't because I don't want it to look bad. I'm in the office, I'm supposed to getting work done. Now, when I'm at home, I can have the iPad right here next to me so I can keep an eye on it, and react if I want to. But up to that idea that you gave me, I was contemplating on going to Best Buy to buy a TV and put it up on the wall here just so I could watch it, because then it would be like another screen, but the iPad will do for now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe when we get some Tim Cook money and Apple's in charge, maybe we'll ask for some. Oh, all the monitoring, all of the good audio equipment. We'll see. Yeah, I'm also looking for something to do with my old iPhone because it like works and it's fine. It's definitely faster than my iPad. So I'm thinking about actually also attaching it next to the iPad or above it as another display. I don't know. It's just like, looking for something to do with it. I'm
Yeah,
always trying to,
exactly.
push the envelope of innovation and no,
No,
I'm
yeah,
just bored.
definitely. Well, no, it's cool, and like you said, it's something to do. It's fun to. I mean, my office is definitely the room of the house that I have the most fun in because I like playing around with like the things in here, like switching it up um I think make it interesting where I want to keep coming back because I have to come back to the office, whether it's for work or for school. I want it to be like a cool room that I can do several things in, whether it be schoolwork, regular work, or, just go on YouTube, record the podcast. So it's kind of like a multi-purpose room at this point. And that's why like back in at the end of last year, I got the desk that I really want. I have been like, researching and looking for a desk for like a year. I know I told you all about it. So I, the time I found one, I was pretty thrilled about it. So yeah, it's cool to set up like your work area. I like it too. It's fun.
Oh yeah, got to make it your own and keep it interesting. So you're excited to come back every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah, especially if you're like me and you work from home every day. That's definitely something that you have to consider. Like you gotta also have some separation from your living room.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. I think the next thing, well, right now, probably don't have that much time or shouldn't even be doing this, but another reason why I could get, a TV is to plug my Switch in and then be able to play it here, in the room instead of having to go into the living room and then like play it over there, or just bring the just the little device with the Joy Cons
Well,
attached
you
and
can play it on your computer. I play my Switch on the computer too.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, because it just plug it in with the HDMI
Yeah,
or like the
I
dock?
just switch over to Switch and then and it's already plugged in. We put it back up on the TV the other day so we could play, but yeah, for the most part it lives at my desk.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I haven't even touched my Switch in like a couple weeks when we had a friend over and we were playing Mario Party, I think it
Oh,
was.
nice.
So yeah, that was fun. But I still have like I got so many Legos at the end of the year for Christmas. I still have one that I need to put together. I'm probably gonna do that during my school break. That is because I have classes until end of April. I can't believe it. It's going by so fast. Pretty excited for it, to be honest. I'm so ready for the semester to end. Every week is like a struggle.
You're getting
But
there. You're so close.
oh yeah, we're headed into week 9 already. So we have another, I think it was like a total of 16 weeks, something like that. So yeah, it's getting pretty close, to that I mean, we're already into the second half of the semester. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty pumped to get that done. And then during my little break, I will probably do a couple more things in the office, put Legos together, have some like late nights having fun rather than just doing some homework.
Yeah. All right. So, well, speaking of school, why don't we actually get Rob on the phone? He's a fellow Gator, so why don't we have a little
Ooh,
chat with him?
let's do it.
Rob, you're on Tech Heads with Anna and Victor. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you guys today?
We're chilling. So let's get right into it. First things first, we should acknowledge the fact that we actually have double trouble here. We have yet another Florida Gator in our midst.
Yep, I heard about that.
Yeah, this one is out of school and has officially entered the world of like corporate America. So, Rob, can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the value of your education in relation to your current position. And, don't be shy. You can talk all you want.
So what I do right now is actually not related to what I graduated with, because I happened to graduate when the pandemic started. So all like junior dev positions were closed basically. So that was kind of a bum. But I like I think towards the end of like my final 2 years, I realized I was like, I'm not learning as much as I thought that I would want to. And like I started realizing in the last semester, I'm like, I don't know, I really don't know how much UF has prepared me to like actually go out into the work the work world.
Like, to get something straight, did you do CS, or were you in a different program? I can't remember exactly.
I was in digital arts and science, which was basically CS with some animation classes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
So I took most of the CS classes except I think object oriented and operating systems. I think those were the two major ones I didn't take. Instead of that, I took like other like 3D modeling, game design.
Wow. And is that a little more niche in terms of sort of like the programming slash design industry, or is that like a good move to make because you're touching on two different ends of the spectrum?
I would say yes, because I don't regret taking like I like having the knowledge of like what I learned from those like animation modeling like game design classes, and it like opens up those other jobs for me in the future. But the amount that I took, I don't think when I went into a UF I wanted to be like a game designer, but there weren't enough classes I think that would have like prepared me for that career. Most of the classes prepared me to become like a developer,
Mm-hmm.
not a game designer. It was just a lot of programming, even in some of the like game design classes.
So, taking a few steps back, how did you actually get to that program and decide on that? So, I guess maybe we can go into what maybe drove you into this industry and what really put that spark in you to pursue this, if there even was a spark, or were you simply aware of this huge need for, any sort of developer in the world, and you just decided to jump on that? Because, some people, they make their decisions on majoring based on the market, and sometimes they follow their heart. So I guess maybe which one was it for you?
So when I started, I was one of the few people I'd say in like the programming one class that didn't know anything. Like I started from step one. I didn't know, like, I was like, what is a type? What is a class? What is a function? I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm going to start from step one, and I'm going to see from here whether I like this. And I liked it, but I really wasn't in the mindset of I can make a career out of this until I took software engineering. That is when I was really like, wow, this is really fun. Because before it was just I think we used Java and then C++ and doing like really basic projects. And it was all like solo projects. And maybe you had one other person, but it was like a simple like program. But then in software engineering, it was like straight into like a big, like it was a giant project for like a client with a whole team. And it was kind of like you learn this on your own, and you have to get to a certain goal. And I was like, wow, this is like I could do this from that. So it wasn't until like I'd say last year or so when I was really like, wow, I want to become a developer at some point. Before then, I was still in the mindset of, hey, maybe somewhere down the line, I'll have a class that'll teach me, like, I don't know, some game design stuff that's better than what I've learned so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, Anna, she's towards the end of her degree right now. So, Anna, do you want to ask him any sort of specific UF questions that I might not actually get?
No, I mean, I think, it all sounds very familiar because of like the classes and it kind of like the direction, like you said, because right now I'm actually taking intro to software engineering, which, yeah, it's, it consists of like the working with a group to build a project, and you go through the software development life cycle, your sprints and all that good stuff. And it is a lot of work. I think that it's probably definitely like the first class that I think feels more like what the dynamic of a real world job would be, rather than, like you said, previous classes using just C++, where you have an assigned project that you have to work on your own. You're not really allowed to collab with other, students, and you're just supposed to, like create this thing, turn it in, get a grade, and basically move on. There isn't really like going through the process of planning it, designing it, then eventually going into development and getting to the final product, basically. So it's it's very much aligned to what the experience that I have, what you just shared, Rob. And the only thing is, for me, I'm still deciding which path I want to, that I want to take after I graduate. There's still a few classes that I think should help me like steer me in the right direction. And I also just, started a new job that definitely has, a development component to it. So I think that that's another, a factor that will weigh into, to my decision after I graduate from UF. I just did a boot camp before, and I figured that, going back to school for like 2.5 years wasn't that much of a sacrifice. So I was willing to do it. But yeah, I mean, school is school, like you learn things out of a book and you really make it into whatever you want it to be. And like you said, you went in with an idea of what you wanted to do, and then things can start to change your mind. But that's the good thing about, exposing yourself. And I think taking classes and all that stuff, it can help you show you what it is that it is and what it's not, because there's the big misconceptions about software development. Like people, it's always on like a pedestal because you can make so much money, but to me there's more than that. So yeah, no, but it's very cool that you shared your experience. I very much feel the same pains and but also see the good things of it. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't all bad. Like, I definitely don't regret the whole experience. There are just certain things that, like, me and my classmates definitely thought, like, wow, this is like this could have been better. Like a lot of it was. I remember every year there's people like always complaining, like, wow, yeah, this is we're paying for like PDFs for a PDF on how to do like all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely agree. Like you said, you're in software engineering right now at the intro class. Like everything before was for a grade, and now like when you're in that class, at least for me, I wasn't like, I want to get this done and I want to do it. I want to do like a great job for a grade. I want to do it because like this is fun. This is like something I want to get done.
Do you think that class has made an impact into your career now?
Not into what I currently do, but definitely into what I would want to do in the future.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, definitely. That was because we're currently using Agile. I don't know if that's the same thing that you guys, the same methodology that you guys used, but it's my first exposure to it. And I have to say that, after hearing about it for so long, up to the point that I started this course, like now things are really starting to the puzzle, like the big puzzle, the big picture is finally starting to come together, So yeah, it's very good to, I think, expose yourself to that kind of course, whether it be through university or, anything else, like taking like an Agile online course of some kind, just so you kind of go through those phases and see how important it is, because it's definitely taken for granted. I think I took it for granted until I started taking this class.
So I remember when you were, out of school and you were entering corporate America on the job hunt, you said it was difficult because of COVID, but can you maybe share with anybody any sort of tips that you kind of came up with along the way in your job hunt, and then maybe even tell us a little bit of what you're actually doing at the moment, if you're allowed to?
Yeah. So my tip is to apply to whatever job, no matter, well, obviously don't apply if you're just getting out of college, don't apply for like a senior role, but like don't be afraid to apply to a position because of the requirements. I think you told me this, like if a job is like, oh, you need like 2 years of like PHP, apply anyways. Cause like maybe, you use like PHP once and it'll be like, okay, that, that'll work. Like you could learn on the job, for example. Like, don't be afraid to do that. There sometimes like recruiters really just exaggerate the requirements on these positions just to scare away people. And yeah,
that, and it could also be somebody in HR who doesn't know anything, and they were just told, a brief overview, so they maybe Googled some stuff that they shouldn't have Googled to write a job description that they don't understand, which I've definitely seen before. And I know that, you were on the hunt for quite a bit and it was kind of killing you, but how did you stay sane during that? Like, I mean, I've done the job hunt. It's rough for sure, especially I couldn't imagine like right now, but can you tell us a little bit about like what kept you motivated to actually, go on Indeed every day and click apply?
I gotta say, it was like a lot of the people around me and then a lot of the people I graduated with, because they're like some of my friends who graduated with me. I would like, hit them up and be like, hey, how's it going? How have you been since the graduation? How's the job hunt? And they would also tell me like, yeah, I still haven't found anything yet. And like, we would talk about it. And I would realize, I'm not the only one in this, because that was the main thing when applying. I was like, wow, am I not good enough? Like, what am I missing? And like through talking to people, I realized that it's just a tough process, like of like going through this. And what you really can't give up. Like if you really want to do if you really want to find a job, you have to keep working towards it. There's no point where you could give up.
Oh, I have to say that like persistence is key. I think Victor and I were even talking about it just recently, because even if you do have something that's sort of lined up, let's say you had like a good phone screen and then you got through to like a technical interview, that limbo process, because companies are not going to get back to you within the next day. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of a contact of mine, like all these years, that got hired on the spot. I mean, you hear those stories, but it's very rare, because the talent pool nowadays is so much bigger, than it used to be. So like companies are gonna cherry pick the best candidates, and they have every right to. But like you said, I think it's important to keep applying, to not have all your eggs in one basket, and, get to a point where you can choose one offer or another, because, you apply to a couple. You just have to be very persistent and patient, because yeah, even if you have something that you think is going well, it might take some time for them to get back to you. And that process is definitely challenging, but especially as like new grads. I remember when I finished my first degree at UCF, it took me months to get a job. And I had the same, feeling like you feel so defeated because you're applying like hundreds of applications, and sometimes you don't even get like a rejection email, or you get those, auto rejection emails. And, that hurts. It really does, because up to that point, you thought that you did everything right. Like you did everything by the book. You went to school, you put in the time, and then, the job market it's for the people that keep chipping away at it. So yeah, I'm glad that eventually you and your buddies found your way. It's all about persistence, really. I don't think that there's like anything else that you can do. You just got to keep applying.
Yep, it's a rough time, so like you have to definitely, you got to keep going at it. And another thing, like it's kind of important, is like I didn't really learn this in school, because of course, like if you fail in school, you kind of fail. Like that's it. But when you're looking for a job, if you get rejected, that's okay. Like, the first few times I would like put my head down, and I'm like, wow, like that went terrible. But then, like it's okay. Like it's okay to get rejected. Like they're on to the next one. That's what you got to tell yourself. Like maybe you weren't a right fit, but you are a good fit somewhere else.
With your current position, I do know that you recently got a promotion. How did that feel?
I was actually really shocked, because imagine you're kind of like just working, and then your boss hits you up on Teams or something. He's like, "Hey, do you have a moment to talk?" And I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm trying to like go through my head. And then he's like, yeah, so yeah, we're switching to Jira next week, but also I wanted to promote you. And it took me a while to like process that. And I was like, oh my God, like, whoa, like, like, thank you. Like, I wasn't going to question it, because I was only in the company for like 3 months at the time. And there were people who started way before me. And, I got off the phone, and I was really, really like appreciative of that, because like, it shows that, like, I guess, like, whenever I think to myself, am I not working hard enough? Like, am I doing something wrong at the job? Am I doing the right thing? That showed me that, like, I must be doing something well, that him and the other like team leads would notice that and would choose me out of everyone else.
Yeah, that's huge.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I think I maybe sent like Corey a fiery emoji in response to it. I didn't really personally congratulate you though, so super stoked to hear that. Maybe to help some of the listeners out and maybe figure out what went right, are you allowed to tell us maybe anything that stood out to you during the interview process that maybe contributed to you getting your current role?
I think so. The two people that interviewed me were my current boss and his boss. And so what I actually do to make sense of like this whole like process is, I'm a IT help desk. Right now I'm a team lead, but I just do IT help desk for this mortgage company. So, the people at my job, they're like salespeople and like processors, and not everyone is tech savvy. So sometimes there's simple stuff like, oh, hey, like, and the VM that we use, it kind of crashed, it's frozen. So I like kind of like troubleshoot them. I'll remote in, like take control of their computer, fix what I need to. And then other times it's more complicated stuff like, hey, there's a certain loan and I'm getting this like issue on it. So I'll have to like go through the loan and through like the information, kind of like look through that and like kind of like explain to them like what the issue is, or if I can't, I would like move that to a different team, whether it's like the sales support or the devs. They didn't really ask me any like any technical questions. I think they looked at my resume and they're like, this guy has done like dev work, not for like a professional job, but like in what I did in college, like I know all this stuff. And they basically just told me like what do I expect from this job? What projects have you worked on? Like how was it working with those teams? It was more like they asked me all about like my experience and nothing like how would you like, how would you handle this?
Yeah, I mean, experience like speaks volumes to employers versus like if you can, if you can write FizzBuzz. I mean, sure, like, if you can do it, without really thinking too hard, I guess it shows that you've seen a lot of code before. But yeah, if like an employer wants to boil it down to experience, like that's a pretty big indicator as well. It sucks if you're somebody who is entering the job market for the first time and doesn't have any professional experience, but even like the education experience alone is enough for some employers, luckily. I do wish more employers did that. Otherwise, maybe more people would be getting these offers for really great jobs. But it's really good to hear that this company actually did that for you and understood that you would be a valuable asset to them.
Like, I agree with you. I feel like if I was interviewing someone, I'm not going to be like, oh, what's the most efficient way to sort this? Like, I don't care about that. Like, you could easily Google that. Why does that matter? I want to know how you would want to solve something and like how you would handle a certain situation. I don't care. I don't want to ask a question that you could easily sit while you're working. You could easily Google, which we all do. Sometimes we forget the easiest stuff. I'm like, okay, let me go on Reddit or Google to like find this answer.
One question that I had for you, since you said that you do IT help desk related work, did you need certifications? Because I know that CompTIA is pretty big, so I wasn't sure if that's something that you had to work towards.
There are people on my team who have that certification, but not for me. There's a lot that there are certain people on different teams that that will handle the more complicated stuff, like our server admins and stuff like that. But no, not for what I do. If it's anything too complicated that I like, if I get like an issue from a person that's too complicated, I just straight up Google it. I'm just like, certain error code on Windows. What do I do? And I just do whatever that says.
Yeah, that's definitely important too. I've done an interview actually before where this was the first time I ever experienced it. So my interviewer, he told me like, hey, I'm gonna ask you like the typical technical questions. You're gonna share your screen and you're gonna have to code some stuff that I'm asking you to do, such as FizzBuzz or like reverse a string, all that stuff. And then I was like, oh great, here we go again, like just another interview that's doing that. And then he said, okay, now we're going to move on to an hour-long project where I don't have to watch you. So I'm going to leave the meeting and I'll come back in an hour and see how you did. And feel free to Google, because that's what the job is. You have to Google some stuff sometimes. So he gave me, a whole list of requirements for, I can't really go into it too much, but a list of things to do with JavaScript. And it was so great because, it was just like being at work. Like, you have access to all these resources. So it was really cool that they actually had that for me. And then afterwards, we went over it and ran the code. I didn't even run the code when I was doing it, but ended up working for the most part. So that was cool. But it was a cool experience. It alleviated a lot of stress, and I think it allowed me to actually access more of my skill set. Like, not to say that my skill set lies in Googling, but the pressure was off, and I wasn't blanking on the most simple things, like how to set up a function, for instance. Like, if we're on the spot for anything, even if it's something that we do every single day, it's not totally uncommon for us to like totally lose our knowledge on the spot and be like, oh wait, how do you do that? So just wanted to share that. That was a really cool thing that I got to do in the past. So I wish more people did that.
Yeah, I people like interviews should definitely do that more. I don't know why they think having people monitor everything you do is not going to put pressure on you. Like, right. I've been in those interviews where they're looking at your screen and they're looking at you, and then they're like, I want you to explain everything that you do to me. I'm like, or everything that you do for this project. And I'm like, okay. And I start coding and I blank out sometimes and they're like, hey, you there? Hey, you there? I'm like trying to like think. And it's not easy. Like, when you're at the job, like I'm not a developer, but I'm assuming like you guys don't have someone breathing down your neck like while you work.
Nope, not too much.
Nope.
No, exactly. Well, like you said, it's funny because even when I've noticed that, like, particular to like me, even when I have to like show some code or something on the screen, if I know I have someone behind me, for some reason, I just totally lose my typing skills. I can't type. If I know someone is watching, I cannot type. It's the weirdest thing ever. But by myself, man, it's like, I know, like you said, Victor, the pressure is off and you don't have like another pair of eyes burning behind your head, that is distracting. It's just, like an energy thing. So it's nice when, companies embrace the fact that like you said, like, why would you have to know every single algorithm out there when you can simply take like, a few minutes to look it up on Google and there you go, like figure out how it works, recreate it and boom, you're done. Like it's, we live in the internet age. Like some companies are just so, I think that they want to put pressure probably because, I don't know, some of them are sadists and others are just like, this is the old fashioned way of, testing our candidates, just I don't know, to make them sweat, or because that's the kind of process, interview process that those people that are interviewing you went through before. But it's nice when you see, other companies that are more understanding of the times that we live in, and they know that, like if you don't know things, I mean, I have supervisors with like tens of years of experience that still Google things. They don't have all the answers. So why would they expect, a new hire to? So it's silly, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rob, we're actually getting towards the end of our call here, but I wanted to open the floor to you and have you, maybe recommend anything that you discovered recently that's kind of helping you. This could be related to tech, or this could be anything that is just like super cool to you. It could be a video game because I know you're into video games and everything. So yeah, feel free to plug your Instagram. This time is kind of for you. You can also even give out some final advice to people. So the floor is yours.
One thing that helped me, because early on in school you learn that there's so many programming languages and libraries out there, and I was like, am I supposed to know everything? Like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to like master all this, but it's great to just stick to one thing. Like try out everything. Every type of tech stack out there, try it out. See what would work for you. Because I feel like I wouldn't have liked I feel like if it wasn't for that software engineering class, I would have never liked the like React, JavaScript, everything. And that's what I keep telling myself, that's what I would love to work in the future. Like I want to work with like a JavaScript like tech stack if I were to become a developer.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone likes JavaScript. I've asked my team at my job, and they really hate JavaScript for some reason. And I think like you got to find what you like and stick with that.
All right. Well, that's pretty sound advice. I've never actually really thought about it that way. I'm always so distracted on learning everything all the time at once. So that's really sound advice. I really appreciate that, and I'm sure others listening will probably listen to you as well, since you actually made it out of college and got your job, and it's possibly smooth sailing from here for you. Because everybody says you got to get your first job, and then after that, like if you were to move on, it shouldn't be as difficult as it was initially, since all intro jobs ask for experience. So you've got that experience under your belt. I think you said that you have lead in your title now, so you're probably you've got a big wide open road for you now.
Yeah. The devs at my job are actually all under IT. Like we're all under the IT department, and I sometimes like we have to reach out to them for certain issues, and we get, since we're in a like email distribution group, we get all the emails like, this database is down or whatever. So we know the inside of like what's going on sometimes. And I think like, like I'm not doing what I wanted to do when I graduated now, but I know I'll get there eventually, whether it's at this job or somewhere else, because like, I'm just going to keep working towards that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, thank you so much, Rob. You definitely need to come back on our show soon in case we need to have you weigh in on a certain topic. So thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Maybe next time we'll talk about our experience at UF.
Yes, I know. Yeah, let's do that. Let's reconvene in a couple months. Oh, I only graduate at the end of the year, but that would be fun. So
yeah, I want to know what you think.
Will do. I appreciate the time, Rob. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Take care, man. Give Corey my love.
I'll probably have her call you later, but all right. You guys have a good one.
Bye.
All right, later.
Very good. Ah, such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, so I guess we can go into stuff that we're recommending, or if you have any news for the listeners. Floor is yours. Go ahead.
I don't know. Invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's all I'm gonna say this week, I think.
Oh, we should put our links for like Robinhood and Coinbase or whatever, so that they can.
Ew, Robinhood. That name is banned from here.
Hey, I'm trying to get some free stocks. I don't care.
No, I have to say, after the whole thing, when not being able to buy GameStop from Robinhood, I deleted my account. I had no stocks on there anymore. I just had the account. So I deleted it and had like a customer service email that wanted confirmation. I was like, yeah, I want to delete.
Oh no. I get it. I totally get it. I'm like being, because I still have mine.
So that's why I got Ameritrade. But I was going to say, like for, I think stock options, I am very much a beginner. I don't even know if that's the right word for it. Super green. Because I don't have a lot of experience. I've watched videos. So you got to be very careful with the stock market. But like Coinbase, that we talked about, I would recommend people. I even told my parents, I was like, you guys buy some Bitcoin, buy some kind of like, buy one of the most known, like I really believe in Ethereum. My IT manager at work has a mining, he has an Ethereum mine, like a mining company or a side gig that he does with like a couple of people. He just buys GPUs and mines Ethereum. So I told him, I was like, it's going to appreciate a lot. And invest like a little bit of money. It doesn't have to be all the money you have, because cash is cash. Don't liquidate all your assets to go into crypto. Don't do that, but buy a little bit and it will go a long way. I mean, I put a couple I think a little bit of money this year. I bought like $50 back in 2017 of Bitcoin. And that turned into $350. So it was like a 7-fold return, and now it's probably going to take a while for it to see that kind of ROI.
Yeah, they're saying another 4 years maybe on the cycle.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I bought Ethereum, because I could get more Ethereum for my money. Bitcoin is already like 50 grand a coin. So but I think it's a good investment. You will probably, if you cash it out, you'll have to pay your taxes, but you're still going to be making a lot of money. So
yeah,
that's what that's my recommendation for the week.
Yeah. And obviously, don't like you said, don't invest what you don't have, and maybe don't even invest like what you're afraid to lose. If you're gonna play this game, shorting stocks and being crazy and treating it like it's Vegas, like, just be careful, everybody.
Right.
Don't invest money you don't have. And if you're gonna lose it, it should be money that you're just not afraid to lose, like I said. But also look into regularly investing every week, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, into some sort of index. I think, do some safe investing if you're gonna do it too. But hey, I'm all about playing the game and having fun, so that's why I only do it with money I don't care about.
Exactly. There you go. And, as a disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. We don't have any professional experience with this. So, take it as you will. I think it's just fun. Like you said, I see it as I never thought that I was a big gambler, but I guess this is what it is. It's just, it's a fun game. And yeah, only, be very reasonable with what you're willing to gamble with, because that's what it is. You can lose it all. But you can also have some fun with it and make a little money. So why not?
True that. I guess I can say what I actually recommend this week. So, I've had it for a few months. I've definitely told you about it. I have this heavy cable organizer. It essentially keeps track of all of your cables on your desk and makes it so that if like a phone charger or a laptop charger, HDMI, headphone jack, or the audio input jack for your speakers, any of that sort of stuff, it can go in there and not slide off your desk and fall on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, it's small, it's heavy. I keep it under my monitor stand so it's out of sight. I have the link below for that as well. So I definitely recommend everybody look into that if you're trying to organize your desk a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, no, definitely. I have way too many cables still on my desk. I'm gonna have to do something about it. I don't know what gives, but it's just, I feel like I wish I could just charge everything wirelessly by now.
Your setup is cool. You have that like thing running up the one of the legs of your desk, right?
I still do that. But I don't know. It's still kind of like it's messy, and sometimes I have to like find other things that I don't charge all the time. Like I have a Bluetooth speaker, so I have to find the charger for that, plug it in there, and then it kind of like just leaves it there. So now I have like a whole bunch of cables, and I had to bring, my laptop, my work laptop charger from the office. So I have another thing plugged into there. So it's like starting to pile up, and I mean, it's okay. Augie still has room to roam around under the desk, because I don't have any cables on like running under it. Only like off to the side. So he approves.
Well, perfect. Do you have any last words before we sign off today?
No, I think that's it. Stay safe. Get your vaccines. That's be good to each other. Be kind to one another. That's it.
Who says that? Oprah?
I think it's Ellen.
Oh, Ellen, that's right.
Which is very ironic if you ask me, after everything that came out about her.
Oh boy, let's not even get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, this has been another episode. See you all in 2 weeks, and be kind to one another, I suppose. We're not going to start saying that.
No, we're not. That's it. Last time.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Bye.